I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. On Thanksgiving, Donald Trump posted 45 deranged posts on his social media platform, everything from QAnon conspiracies to attacks on the United States Supreme Court, to attacks on special counsel Jack Smith, to attacks on special counsel Jack Smith's wife, and just other weird and bizarre posts. Not once did Donald Trump say Happy Thanksgiving or acknowledge the day at all, or acknowledge our troops or our soldiers or anything like that. But this individual is spiraling out of control as he has been losing case after case after case, and the walls are closing in. I want to show you some of the deranged posts that Donald Trump has made so you can see just how bad it's gotten. I know the media likes to ignore this and both sides it and act like, oh, you have liberals and conservatives. When no, you have a pro-democracy side with Democrats, independents, former Republicans, non-affiliated party political people who are all coming together and just saying, you know what, enough is enough with this madness. And on the other side, you have this extremist, fascist, radical, MAGA republicanism, and we're going to call it out here on the MeidasTouch Network. So this is what Donald Trump was posting on Thanksgiving. And again, no mention of Thanksgiving in any of his posts. This is a post where he reposts someone named Lara45, who he likes to repost. It's a photo of him with lightning, and it says, "The devil whispered, you can't withstand the storm. The warrior replied, I am the storm." That is a QAnon meme. The storm is coming is what QAnon says, and the storm is coming refers to Donald Trump overthrowing the government and holding public executions on live TV. That is what Donald Trump is spreading with that. It's a QAnon saying, I am the storm. Here's another post where he reposts Nani 1776. It's a photo of him in an umbrella in rain, and it says, "One does not appreciate the strength of relentless gale force winds until one is in the eye of the storm." Again, using this language of the storm is QAnon language, where we are the storm. The storm is coming. This is a photo of Trump that's posted by this person named Andrea, who I think we all believe to be a burner account for Trump. And it's a photo of Trump that says, "The devil whispers, you can't withstand the storm. The warrior replied, I am the storm." Again, he's posting this all on Thanksgiving, using the QAnon language of the storm is coming and we are the storm, again, referring to public executions after the government is overthrown. That is what the QAnon ideology, extremist conspiracy cult says is going to happen. Here, Trump is posting some TikTok video of Trump 2024, let's go Brandon. That's what he's doing on Thanksgiving. And by the way, I'm only picking out just some of the posts that he's making. He is reposting and posting throughout the day over and over and over again on Thanksgiving. This again is another post where he's commenting on this person, Lara45's post, and she goes, "Constitutionally challenging the results of an election is not a threat to our democracy. Rigging and stealing an election is." And he responds to that. He posts that, and then he goes, "So true." Well, you filed 70 lawsuits, many in front of judges who you appointed after the 2020 election, where you lost by over 7 million votes. 7 million votes. You lost each and every one of those federal lawsuits that you filed. Not only did you lose, but the lawyers who you hired are now facing disciplinary proceedings. Some have been disbarred and others have received massive sanctions because the claims have been so frivolous. Your own Department of Justice head, Bill Barr, said that you're absolutely full of crap, and everybody who worked with you said that you were just spreading these false conspiracies. So again, you just continue to spread false conspiracies while the media both sides the issues. Not here on the MeidasTouch Network. This is another post that Donald Trump did on Thanksgiving. I love Trump, just a photo of him that says, I love Trump. I mean, again, how weird is that? You know, on Thanksgiving, not talking about families, not talking about our military overseas, not talking about what we should be thankful for, not reflecting in any way on our country, just saying, I love Trump, just posting stuff, I love Trump. This is another video that he posts, TikTok, a disparaging TikTok of Joe Biden. Okay, now after posting all of those QAnon memes and weird photos of Trump saying, I love Trump, now he starts, as the day progresses, he then starts getting into talking about all of the cases that he's losing. And so now he talks about the Manhattan DA's case should never have been brought. The DA's star witness, who has been harassed and brutalized and is scared beyond belief, has nevertheless totally confirmed our story and defense. This case should be dismissed immediately, and the large, highly paid and prestigious accounting firm that we relied on to do their job but didn't should pay us a fortune in damages. No, quote, fringe benefits case like this has ever been brought before. A total witch hunt. He's referring to the criminal case against the Trump organization brought by the Manhattan DA's office, where Alan Weisselberg has pled guilty to over 15 felony counts. Alan Weisselberg is the Trump organization's CFO. Also, people who testified were Jeff McConney, the Trump organization controller. Some of the Trump organization's bookkeepers testified. And then at the end of last week, one of the accountants from the outside accounting firm Meiselas, which Meiselas said they're the former accounting firm of the Trump organization, and they basically said all of the information that Trump provided to us, we can't rely on anymore, and no one should be relying on our financial statements. And the accountant said that he had warned Weisselberg about this tax scheme that they were running, that the Trump organization is on a criminal trial for. But you know the one thing, you know who would really be the star witness, Donald? You know who could be the star witness? Maybe it's the person who pleads the Fifth Amendment and is too cowardly to show up, and who rather post social media posts on Thanksgiving than actually testify. Because you know what? You know who could be called as a witness? Because it's now the Trump organization's turn to put on their case. You could be called as a witness. But last time you were called as a witness in the New York Attorney General's civil investigation, and you were asked the most basic of questions. So, Donald Trump, what is the valuation of the Trump Tower? Donald Trump, what's the valuation of Bedminster? Donald Trump, what's the valuation of Mar-a-Lago? Donald Trump, what's the valuation of those 12 apartment complexes that you own? What's the valuation? Okay, well, what's the appraised value? And what's the difference? Each and every one of those questions, after you tried like a little coward to avoid your deposition when you were compelled to have your deposition taken, what did you do? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. And right here, in this case brought against the Trump organization, you could very easily testify if you want to. Just show up. Your lawyer can ask you questions. It'll be a direct examination. Say everything that you want to say. But you know what? You are such a coward that you rather spend your Thanksgiving not with your family, not talking about our country, not doing anything positive, but going on and making these posts, these shit posts about the Manhattan DA's office versus you actually showing up and testifying. Oh, here you are attacking now the special counsel on Thanksgiving. Newly appointed special counsel Jack Smith is married to a documentary filmmaker who worked on a 2020 film about former First Lady Michelle Obama and donated to President Joe Biden's 2020 campaign. So now you're attacking the special counsel and the special counsel's wife. Is she not allowed to have a job? Is she not allowed to have any opinions at all or to have feelings? Is that what you believe? And to attack the special counsel's wife right now? By the way, not a coincidence that the special counsel filed on Thanksgiving a letter brief to the 11th Circuit calling out your lawyers for providing false information to the court about case law, where in fact there was never a case asserting equitable jurisdiction where a federal judge had found it before. Yet Your lawyer lied to the court. And guess who called it out? Special counsel Jack Smith. Here's another post that Donald Trump made on Thanksgiving. What are they doing in Arizona about the large number of voting machines in Republican areas that just happened to be, quote, broken on Election Day with tens of thousands of voters standing in line for hours unable to vote? They left the voting lines in complete exasperation, unable to return. When mechanics went in to fix the machines, they got worse. Carrie Lake couldn't even vote in her own district. Voter fraud. Do the election over. You're such a whiny freaking baby. No offense to babies out there. Every election is rigged. The Brazil election is rigged. This election is rigged. The primary election is rigged. All you talk about is elections are rigged. It is so ridiculous. What a coward you are. What a little petulant child you are. And again, no offense to little children who have far more intelligence and certainly far more dignity than you ever will. Even petulant children do. And you're an embarrassment, man. Okay, here we go with another one. Donald Trump goes, the Supreme Court of the United States has the lowest approval rating in its long and storied history. No wonder. There are leaks and they can't find the leakers, which is easy to do. They are petrified of the radical left maniacs who are destroying our country, are unwilling to make bold, courageous, and proper decisions on rigged and stolen elections, and are always wanting to be politically correct instead of doing what is best for the USA. We need strength and wisdom now, all exclamation points. Now you're attacking the United States Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has the lowest approval rating right now because they overturned Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court has the lowest approval rating now because they've allowed the proliferation of weapons of war by basically construing the Second Amendment as permitting all Americans to carry any weapon that they want, anywhere, be it around schools, and there doesn't even need to be real serious background checks. And Americans are for common sense gun reform, or for responsible gun ownership. We just don't want irresponsible gun ownership. We're okay with gun ownership, just we'd like it to be done in a responsible manner. The Supreme Court has also removed any separation of church and state. The Supreme Court has overturned key constitutional concepts. That's why their approval rating is pretty low right now. It's not low at all because of anything to do with your tax returns. I know you're upset that they rejected your emergency application to avoid turning over your tax returns. Didn't you say you were going to turn over your tax returns anyway because you lie about everything? But now I know that's what you're upset, that they wouldn't grant an emergency application and they're not willing to buy your conspiracies that there are secret satellites in Italy that are beamed out to China that's creating bamboo new ballots, and somehow Hugo Chavez is back to life, and they're all involved in this massive conspiracy and dominion and all of these things. Like, they're not willing to go that far, but I'm telling you, that is not why their approval rating is low at all. Here's another post that Donald Trump made on Thanksgiving. This fake case against Trump has totally collapsed. Even the media says so. We had nothing to do with these small fringe benefits. No case. Okay, then just shut up. If you think you're going to win, then just be quiet or go and testify. This is another post that he made. When a Republican judge or justice is proudly appointed by a Republican, he or she will almost always go out of their way to make a point, even a decision, that they are in no way beholden to the person or party that gave them a great honor. When a Democrat judge or justice, especially a radical left one, is proudly appointed by a Democrat, he or she just doesn't care. It is almost impossible to get a fair decision on a case if you are a Republican. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. What are you talking about? And then he goes back into another one. He goes, witch hunt. I mean, just such bizarre conduct here. Well, should we compare it to normal conduct? This is from President Biden. From the Biden family to all of yours, happy Thanksgiving. This holiday, we celebrate all that brings us together, grounded in history and our shared hopes for the future. Here's another one by Biden. May God bless America's service members and their families this Thanksgiving and always. And it's a video of himself with our troops. Here's another one from President Biden. Connor, Daniel, Owen, and May, promise you won't forget about me when you run for president one day. And he posts some great photos, some pictures that are drawn by kids about Thanksgiving. Here's a message from President Biden and Jill Biden, First Lady. Jill and I were honored to speak with the women and men of our armed forces this afternoon. You gave up your seat at the Thanksgiving table to defend us, and we owe you a debt of gratitude. You are the best of America. And here from First Lady Jill Biden. Whether your morning is filled with crossing off last-minute items on your to-do list, or you've been tasked with keeping an eye on the turkey, I hope you find a moment to take care of yourself and enjoy being surrounded by family and loved ones. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And I show you those posts at the end by President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. We have to remind ourselves of the contrast here. We have to remind ourselves of what normalcy looks like. You know, one of the tactics of authoritarianism is to try to break our will and try to break our spirit and try to crush it. And it's that constant gaslighting where they want us to be like, wait, is this normal? They want us to second guess it. Like, is that how people are supposed to act? Is that what's going on? Or like, okay, enough, fine, whatever you want. We can never get that complacent because that is what the tactic that is being utilized here by Donald Trump and other authoritarians right now that exist in this country, radical, extreme, right-wing authoritarians. That's what they want us to do. And I just want to show you that contrast because we, in this pro-democracy coalition, we need to constantly show this contrast. Like we care about compassion, we care about love, we care about real issues, and we care about education and healthcare. We care about people having jobs that pay the money that they deserve for putting in a hard day's work, not the minimumest of wages, but like, you know, a real wage with dignity. And we care about real freedoms and freedom of women to control their bodies. We want people who love each other to be able to do that. We want to treat all human beings with dignity. Like, that's what's going on here. And so, you know, I want to show you all of the things that Trump is posting. And again, I just showed you a handful of them. Again, he posted over 45 times, anger, deranged, and then you compare it to what Biden and Jill Biden, what they're posting, President Biden, Jill Biden are posting, and it's night and day. And we should never lose that aspect of who we are in this country, no matter what. And that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for love and compassion. We're fighting for democracy. And whether you're a former Republican, independent, non-affiliated political party person, whatever it is, let's build this. Let's keep building this pro-democracy coalition together. It couldn't be more important. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your support. And in addition, if you can, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. We got lots of great exclusive content there, but most importantly, help grow this independent media platform. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.